Our next contestant number 12, Leona Chan Jing Tong. What does it mean to understand a language? What does it mean to understand a language? Leona Chan Jing Tong.
小毛, 小妈, 小养. For the Chinese speakers in this room, do you understand what I just said? Well, that was what came out of my mouth while practicing for the Chinese PSLE oral and made my mother fall out of a chair. What was supposed to be a small cat, a small horse, and a small goat came out completely incoherent. Ever since I was a kid, my Chinese, to put it lightly, has been atrocious. In English class, I remember new words easily. But in mother tongue class, I forget them even after learning their meaning. Once in mother tongue class, my teacher gave us a lengthy list of words for us to learn over the holiday. And after my mother's stern lecture, I memorized every single word in that list, coming back to school feeling triumphant. But I found that list merely 2 months after. And upon rereading it, I, for the life of me, couldn't remember the meaning of a single one. And it got me thinking, why English and Chinese are so different for me. I went home that day and decided to read this Chinese book my parents bought me. And while reading, I had an epiphany. I wasn't reading in Chinese. I was reading in English. While reading the words, I wasn't reading them for what they were. I was just translating it in my head to English. More importantly, I realized I always thought in English. Chinese characters weren't Chinese characters, just English in a different font. While discussing about this with my father, he brought up an analogy that resonated with me. Learning a language is like building a house. You have to lay it brick by brick. Every bilingual has 2 houses to build, and for most, they're both pretty strong and evenly developed. But I am not most bilinguals. I have 1 stable house, and I have a pile of bricks. But I can't show my guests this pile of bricks every time someone wants to speak Chinese. So what do? I hastily paint over my English house and try to pass it off as Chinese. And in using this method for so long, I think I lost a piece of myself. Honestly, I never really understood the importance of connecting with my Chinese roots when I was younger. Because Chinese New Year was just another family gathering, and speaking Chinese was just a bad grade. But now I can finally realize the sense of belonging you get. You connect with your culture. It could be as simple as using your mother tongue to speak to your grandparents. The feeling is beautiful. It's something you can't Google Translate into because it transcends into value. Culture has value. Each one's with different beliefs, which makes it so unique. But that means nothing if you cannot communicate it. And it saddens me a bit. Every time I can sense the disconnect between me and my heritage because of the language barrier I've built, or, in my house metaphor, failed to build. Everybody experiences language differently, and like a house, each one has different bricks, different roofs, and a different life inside that house. And the more houses you have, the more ways you can think, interpret, and experience. So what is it like in your house? Why don't we all take a step back to really see how stable our houses truly are? Thank you. Good luck.